Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 65 of the Battleship Brawls Season 4 tournament. This episode we've got the Blademaster by Seminostro moving into the active combatant slot, but it does have 2 losses, so 1 more, and it will fall and be eliminated from the tournament. Attempting to bring that about today is the Issy, which I completely butchered, but I have to try it at least once. From here on out, it will be referred to as the Issy by Gaming 19. Which, my first impression is that it's a pretty nice looking ship. It looks more like a destroyer, maybe a cruiser, than a battleship to me. It's not very battleship-y, but it is very warship-y. So, you know, that's definitely something. I like the hull shape. And it's got these, yes, they are actual little casemate secondary guns. Looks like they'll be, they'll be functional. And to go along with those, it has 4 turrets with 2 barrels each. Got a nice looking superstructure and some funnels here. Got a little a break. Oh, that's probably because of the water, huh? The water's, yeah, the refraction. I was like, how did that happen? Then it's like, oh yeah, water does that. Yeah, so it's got a nice hull shape, nice sloping hull, even though it's got that sawtooth shape, but you can't really get around that. We got some main engine shafts in the back with a little faux rudder, which I think may actually turn. It looks like it's on a spin block, which is always cool. Let's see what we got on the bottom. Not a whole lot. Is it still considered a prow when it's like underneath the ship like that? I don't know. I don't know if there's a different word or if it's still considered a prow or what. I know this, this little part right here would be considered a prow. I don't know about this fin thing on the bottom. Anyway, so I guess is it like an antenna array with a flag on top? I guess. And yeah, that seems to be about it for the Issy. Last quick look around, and then we will pull back, get both ships in sight, and we will get this battle started and see how this goes. Both ships lobbing volleys in. Looks like the Blademaster is going to land the first hits. The Issy getting the better of the very first volley. Some serious damage to that big main gun in the center. That HE shell just bounced off, and another one bounces off the deck of the Issy. If you're going to use high explosive shells, you need at least an inertial fuse. Otherwise, that happens. Front guns on the Issy have taken quite a beating. It needs to turn and bring some more weaponry to bear. It's a fairly even match right now, though. But the Seminostro, the Blademaster by Seminostro. I always want to call it the Seminostro because he put his name first in the label. The ship in the actual game, but Blademaster is quite fragile. It doesn't tend to do well once it starts losing buoyancy, and the Issy is taking a lot of heavy hits from the bow and these frontal guns, but it is resisting pretty well. But if it keeps this up, the ship might get severed. The bow of the ship might fall completely off, and that would not be good. Obviously. Captain Obvious here. Oh. The Blademaster has decided to target somewhere else, but now the Issy is returning fire with its rear guns. Now those aren't actual guns. They don't seem to be aiming and firing. I thought I saw Like, it looks like they are. They've got the pieces and parts, but they're not, you know, doing anything. Maybe they don't have the angle yet. They might have a really restricted arc of fire. Issy down to 83.652%. The Blademaster is at 89, so it does have the lead at the moment, but it is losing health quite a bit more quickly than the Issy is. And the Blademaster is capable of sinking at like 85% health. The Blademaster. Not really likely to get severed in half with this like beam of heavy armor going down the side. It is possible. It has taken a lot of damage in that one area, though. Issy down to 77%, and its guns are no longer aiming. I think this one may have taken... Yeah, this one's pretty bad. Oh, yeah, there's not a whole lot left of that gun. I don't know how... Like, that's barely holding on. There it goes. There it goes. Issy goes dead in the water. None of its weapons are currently operating. But it is still floating, at the very least. Maybe I spoke too soon. No, it's still floating. Barely. Does not look like it's going to be a sinker. The Issy is AI dead, actually. Where did my sound go? What the heck? There it is. That was weird. While the Issy was AI dead, my game sound cut out. I hope you guys can still hear me talking, but whatever. Round 2. Blademaster in the lead with 1 victory. I feel like if the Issy hadn't lost its weaponry, like its frontal guns, so quickly, though, that could have been a different fight. So let's go ahead and get round 2 here underway. So the Blademaster does fire first, but like what happened last time was most of the shells dunked short into the water, indicating it's not aiming properly before firing. Now, if the Issy can turn broadside and bring all of its guns to bear and not lose its not lose its frontal guns, and then this thing takes a hit right to the top of its head. Go ahead and check on the Blademaster. Oh, it is listing heavily at 96% health. Oh, this thing is so fragile. those shells are bouncing off the Blademaster. Let's go check on the Issy. It is doing much better this time around. It actually repaired that damage it got. And it's just unloading into the Blademaster. That shell, that trajectory, just doing. I don't know why that amuses me so much, but it does. It's raining shells. Doing. Gotta use those inertial fuses on shells that lack kinetic and kinetic damage and AP. Is he dead in the water, or no, it's moving. It's just not the fastest of ships. Oh, are those secondaries actually firing, or looks like they're aiming now, but can't get the elevation they need to fire? What a waste. Well, I guess that is a bit far for a secondary gun, at least, you know, from the depth scale. In real life, this distance is basically friggin' knife fighting for warships. Blademaster has managed to recover. It is not listing as heavily and sinking now, but it is also out of materials to repair with. Oh, that turret got blasted. Popped straight off. Issy needs to pick a new target. It keeps missing. It's hitting something right on the stern. Must not have a aim point selector with the random block setting. Well, there's a couple of hits. Maybe that'll change the target. Looks like it did. Maybe. Yeah, those look like they're aimed further, much further forward. Now it might actually hit. That plunging fire. Oh, right into that turret. That was a hell of a shot. Let's see how the Issy is doing. Oh, the Blademaster is actually getting disqualification time, I just noticed. It's too far away. The Issy is trying to close. Just not doing a great job of it. Not the fastest ship. A little bit sluggish. That's actually working in its favor because the Blademaster is about to get itself disqualified. Because it's not agile either, and it got too far away. Kaboom! Alright, so that means we're going to a round 3, folks. And since it's a draw going into round 3, the 5% rule does not matter. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started and see how it goes. Issy launching some shells. Were those? Oh, those were actually the secondary guns that fired there. So they have pretty good elevation. It was just they were really far. Again, those front turrets, just like that front turret immediately taking damage, though it didn't. It only lost barrel. You know, it actually had symmetrical barrel damage done, so that's not so bad. The Issy is having trouble landing shots. Everything's falling short. Well, those might land. Nope, fell short again. There's some hits, and that shell bounced off. Blademaster taking a few few shots up in front here, I think, or maybe they... Oh, they bounced off. Oh, man. Bow of the Issy taking some shots there. Some pretty significant holes blown in it. Discovering why the ship is a little bit slow there. It's the JBGs in the front here are placed facing forward, and then they turn. So when it's going straight, it's actually pushing itself backwards. Which... did I specify JBGs have to be placed facing rearward? I know I did for the main engines, but I don't remember if I did for the JBGs. If I did, then that's going to disqualify this ship. Double check that rule. After the battle's over, I'm not going to interrupt it, because I'm not entirely certain that I specified JBGs have to be placed rearward. Issy taking a shot at the top of his turret there, but doesn't seem to have done much. Blademaster, once again, getting pretty damn far away. Positioning of the two ships means it's hard for the Blademaster to make its turn and be considered approaching its enemy, but the Issy only has to turn right about 45 degrees, and it is back to approaching its opponent. Blademaster may get itself disqualified again here. For future reference, for the JBG things, you can still have these point backwards. You would just need a separate bank of ACBs that have the opposite commands that you have for the rear-facing ones. So when you wanted to turn left, you'd want it to go the opposite, direction, degrees, rotate to the opposite degree angle from the ones that you have in the rear. It will do the same thing as just putting them facing forward. And yeah, the Blademaster is getting itself disqualified again. I don't think it's going to be able to make the turn in time. Nope, definitely not. And the Issy is not going to catch up, so kaboom. That is the end of round 3. Now I'm going to do a quick cut here to check on the rules, and then we will go from there. Okay, so in the JBG rules, there is nothing stated, but it actually says whether used for propulsion or on a JBG, they must be placed facing rearward and symmetrically around the center of mass, referring to boat propellers. So having those propellers facing forward is a rule break, and that means the Issy is disqualified. And its battle against the Blademaster does not count, unfortunately. But I hope it was an entertaining battle regardless. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.